Yeah, it's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the ape army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
This ain't financial advice, just a little DD to help you think twice. We hold for each other, eyes on the prize. The new floor's 200,000 times 5. I joke, I kid, no, I don't know a damn thing. I'm as simple as Bubba trying to sell some damn shrimp. Can't spell IQ, can't even count to 10. And I eat crayons every day with my friends. I think about Kenny in his ivory tower, shaking in his lily boots as the apes overpower. Must suck to lose to monkeys, so dumb. But you made your bed and you got nowhere to run. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when he makes the prize fall. And he watching as we keep on more. You forgot we on the floor, blind 2 hours old. Lie, stop breaking the law, asshole.
Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the ape army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
Yeah, crayon eating Lambo loving smooth brain, stupid ass. Throwing all my money at the streets like a quarterback. FUD don't mean a thing. Water off a duck's back. Apes not leaving nothing till we get the money stacks. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey holding to it blue. Monkey magic coming through us monkeys on the moon. Double digit IQ, Tendy loving bamboo. Right here we got more smoothies than a jumbo juice. Probably thought you coulda made us sell all the gooder. And hell, we maybe woulda, but we more zen than the Buddha. The floor, 6 figures, ain't selling for less. You took on the ape nation and you're fucking with the best. We hold for each other, my sisters and my brothers, the fighters and the lovers. We don't need another fan because we huddle through hard times and struggle. Cause we just a couple of dumps in the rubble.
Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the ape army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
We are back, folks. We are back for Power Hour. Now, before we get going, don't forget, if you want to help me out, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button to join up with the Moon Gang. Don't forget to drop that like right out of the gate just to tell the algorithm, hey, we, the Apes, are here for Power Hour on today, Thursday, November 11th. Once again, happy Veterans Day to all. What's going on? Tom Nash in the house. Folks, Apes, anything in between. It's kind of a quiet Thursday. I feel like the news, whatever's going on in the media cycle, not too focused on finance today. I would argue, I guess EV is kind of the biggest story. Lucid having a good day, up 9.3%. RIVN having a great day, up 20% after a successful IPO yesterday. Right now, RIVN coming in, I believe, in the realm of like $105+ billion, already eclipsing both Ford and GM, which, hey, you might have some questions like, well, does that make sense? They're not really delivering vehicles. And to you, I say, don't worry about it. Just bask in the chaos. Make some of them tendies. Let's not get bogged down in the specifics. That's no fun. Right now, I like RIVN, but I don't have any position. I'm waiting for things to cool off and being a bit facetious. Things are hot. The IPO is exciting. It's one of the most sizable IPOs ever in U.S. history. It's definitely the biggest one of the year, and potentially, I think it's the biggest one going all the way back to 2012 with Facebook. Crazy, crazy stuff. GameStop having a good day, trading just below 40. I myself actually got some more AMC today. GME hanging out at 205. AMC up 3.5%. GME up 3%. Tesla down 0.4%. I have puts on Tesla right now, and it's still not working. Tesla's red. It's sold off, and I still managed to somehow botch the trade. My account would be far more sizable if I just stopped trading Tesla, but I can't. It's an addiction, and it's real. BTC having a solid day, 6,500 not too long ago, hitting 6,900. Ethereum just below 4,800. Solana 240. Matic $1.76. I wish that were back above $2. Sheeb 55. Looking for that breakout at 60. Loop Ring coming back, bouncing off a 3 at 320 right now. Cardano still a little upsetting, but I'm still bullish on it. 210. Doge hanging in at 26. Overall market slightly green. The SPYs, the Qs, IWM. It's a bunch of in between day. In between, it's just we're waiting. Like if you look at S&P 500 inside day, the Qs an inside day, the Russell 2000 an inside day. This is just a very indecisive day. We had 2 days ago everything went red because of inflation. Yesterday things bouncing back a little bit, and now people are like, we're not really sure what's going on. So we're just kind of waiting. We're just waiting. Wait for the next trend to emerge. Don't force a trade. RIVN, expensive as freak, but the truck is actually amazing from what I've heard. I have to admit, if you go to RIVN's website, I like it. I mean, so the big brain MIT guy who created this company back in 2009, he wanted to originally make EV vehicles, sports cars, but he feared he could not compete with the likes of Elon. So he pivoted a little bit, and now he has the R1T, the R1S. So it's more for people, outdoorsy people, adventure people. So we have the truck, we have the SUV, and they also have a delivery van, and that kind of makes sense. I mean, they already have an order with Amazon to deliver 100,000 by the year 2030. So overall, I would say it's green today, but it's kind of a boring day. Like the green is good. I guess we can't be that bored if we're making some money. Things are up, but it's just, there's not many drivers. There's not like a hot topic thing to really bite into at this moment in time. So I get it. Things are quiet, all quiet on the Western front right now. Oddly applicable to what today is. Prague and Root thoughts, please, Matt. Always appreciate you taught my wife and I how to trade. We are full-time and watch you daily. Thank you so much. Still holding 10K AMC and 300 GME. Congratulations. That's amazing. All right, let's check out. So Prague did not do the best with its earnings yesterday. To me, could it squeeze? Yeah, there is a high short interest, but I don't look at this as a squeeze play. I think Prague's undervalued. I think it could disrupt the Humira industry, which is one of the world's largest drugs. Instead of being injected, they have the patent for an oral method. I'm just waiting on that. I think this is going to be more of the medium to long-term patience play. If it squeezes in the meantime because of the short interest, that's awesome. But I've invested in Prague, and I'm just sitting on Prague. RIVN makes no cars, but somehow is a bigger company than Ford and GM. That's the kind of comment of people who forever have been missing out on Tesla. Even when Tesla came in, I remember when people were first paying attention to Tesla, those were the exact comments, was like, oh, what are you doing? It's EV, blah, blah, blah. Like, the people came up with every single excuse in the book, and they've just been wrong. Like, I mean, Tesla's now like a top 5, top 7 company, depending on the day. RIVN, it's a juggernaut. I think when people are looking at it like, oh, not delivery, that's kind of an interesting argument of two different types of investors. I think a lot of people, especially of like, if we think of Ford and GM to be old school, well, a lot of the times when people were fundamentally investing, it was always a lagging methodology. How did they do in the previous quarter? But then like the Kool-Aid man, Tesla came in and kicked in the door, and the narrative of the celebrity CEO, Elon Musk himself, he got people so passionate about the direction of where it's going. So it's kind of interesting. We have a lot of people who have a classic way to invest and look at where it's going, look at the EBITDA, the earnings per share, how did it do over the last like X quarters. But then, like I said, Tesla comes in and they're like, nope, we're going to pull this off. And people are invested in just the thought of where they could go in the future. So what's that, like the Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott quote? Or no, not the Michael Scott one. The Wayne Gretzky is all about like, you got to go where the puck is going. But I'm thinking of Michael Scott of you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Classic Office quote. But anyway, RIVN, it could be one of those scenarios. If RIVN, I mean, right now, oil is sky high. It's been over $80 for pretty much all, like, it's just ripping. It's high, it's high, it's high. OPEC and its allies are not doing anything to help the supply. The U.S. government is doing whatever the U.S. government does. So you have oil, and from there, you're going to be talking about gasoline and diesel. So technology is improving. I think EV is going to win out. I don't see how it doesn't. With political issues that relate to the petrodollar, technology improving, so all of that, those things together means that the price parity between EV vehicles and gasoline/diesel vehicles, let's call them common vehicles, the parity gets closer and closer and closer. So now once you get to the point of like, hey, we have the infrastructure built out in major countries where you can charge wherever you need to with relative ease. The distance is solid. I mean, some of Lucid's vehicles are going over 500 miles. And then all of a sudden, if the technology gets to the point and it's mass produced that it's a comparable price, why would there not be a massive demand inflection? If you're saying, hey, for the exact same cost, potentially even cheaper, and now we know that there's like, at least in the US, like tax rebates and government kickbacks if you like are environmentally friendly. And all of a sudden, it's the same cost as a gasoline vehicle, and it's like a sporty looking thing, such as a Tesla, or, I mean, I think Rivian's cars look good. Lucid's cars definitely look good. So if it looks well, the infrastructure is there, like, I just don't see how it loses. I do not see how the main EV players lose between, let's say, now and the end of the decade. Right now, or at least I should say for the year 2020 and half of 2021, in terms of new vehicle sales, 2% have been EVs for globally. The expectations are within a couple of years we hit 15, and some people, depending on when we hit that demand inflection in terms of technology and the price parity, it could shoot right up to 30%. We are living in a world where EVs, yes, we all know about it, and it seems like there's quite a few, but it's still relatively low, and I think it's just going to eat up more and more and more market share. So leaders such as Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, Neo, some of the upstream and even downstream plays, I just don't see how it loses. That's why one of my personal calls from now till the end of the decade, EV is one of the plays that I'm most confident in. Can't you tweet Elon to support Apes, GME, and AMC? I mean, I could, but he's not going to respond. FSR, please. Fisker. That's another one. Another US EV play. This one's particularly having a good day. I have this charted up. I'm excited about this one. Got rejected at 22. This is where it's previously been rejected back in March. I think it continues. Like I said, Fisker, I'm not too knowledgeable about like the intimate details of its fundamentals. I've been reading about Rivian quite a bit more recently, before that Lucid, and I'm always staying up to date on Tesla. Fisker, a little bit of a smaller player. I mean, Fisker's coming in right now. I mean, just to give you a little bit of an idea, Fisker is a $6.2 billion entity, market cap company. Rivian's over 100, Tesla's over $1 trillion. It's just the size of certain things. And I'm not saying every EV company is going to win and be successful. Of course, there's going to be some of these companies that fail. And if we're just playing pure odds, it's harder for bigger companies to fail. I'm not saying that they can't. It's just generically, I think sometimes the bigger, more well-established companies are a better odds bet. Your risk is less, but also that could also mean that your reward is less. But even if you took that methodology with Tesla, I mean, Tesla's gains have been disgusting. The amount of people in November, like literally a year ago, when they announced, previously before that, they had this stock split. And then after that, they said that they were going to get put into the S&P 500. That was a weird amount of drama. I know maybe some of you do know about this, but maybe some of you don't. There are a certain set of prerequisites for a company to get into the S&P 500. Tesla had all those prerequisites checked off for multiple quarters. Like, just to give you an example, you have to be profitable, I think, for 4 quarters in a row, something like that. There's various other credentials. But anyway, what you need to know is Tesla had all those credentials, and it just completely got snubbed. like time and time again, every single quarter when they're looking at what to put into the S&P 500. A lot of people don't know this, but it's actually a dynamic basket. It changes. And for a while, Tesla wasn't in there, and it had the credentials, and people were like, what's going on? And their argument is like, we don't know. This is too volatile of a stock. We don't know if we should put it in the S&P 500. And they awkwardly like snubbed them. And obviously like Elon wasn't happy about it, but they eventually put it in. And that's right. That was in November, mid-November, maybe early November. And it basically ran from $400 to $900 over the next 2.5 months. And that's when it first hit 900. Then it came all the way down to roughly 500. Once again, we're cruising at a new all-time high. Recently, we're above 1,200. I would not be surprised if Tesla does another split, especially if we get going. If Tesla's consistently hanging out above 1,000, 1,500, do not be surprised if Elon and the leadership team announces another stock split. And I think the past couple stock splits of the likes of Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, if we're using that as a blueprint, I think, remember, not a financial advisor, I'm not clairvoyant, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA, I'm a guy who yells at a camera in my basement. That is a buying opportunity. Look at them. Apple, Nvidia, Tesla. I don't know why Amazon hasn't done it, but all these companies, from the announcement to the actual split, beautiful gains. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the announcement of Tesla. I think it's going to take a bit. I think they want to see that the stock, it's not just up here momentarily. I think that they want the stock to sit at a $1.2 trillion valuation. Yeah, it's over $1 trillion right now. I think that the leadership team, if I had to guess, is going to be like, okay, let's make sure that we're actually sitting here. Let's make sure that like inflation isn't going to mess up the entire market before we pull like the ripcord on this thing. But if you hear that, a stock split, a 4-for-1 stock split, a 5-for-1 stock split from Elon on Tesla, that's a money-making opportunity. At least that's how I view it. Matt, have you done DD on NAKD? I have, and I don't like it, and I'm not surprised it's been selling off. What else do we have? Matt, I have a crush on you, UWU. I don't know what UWU means, but I appreciate that. That's very kind of you, Rocking Lock. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. Shout out to my wife, Chief Warrant Officer Molly. She is listening today, Matt. She is riding the AMC train with us. Shout out James and Molly. I believe you are both active members of the military. Maybe you are veterans. Maybe one of you are or aren't. Regardless, I very much, and I hope I can speak for the Moon Gang here in saying thank you for your service. And shout out to any veterans or current active military members. Seriously. Blaze becoming an astronaut. Can you give any explanation as to why for example, when AMC hits 40 and above right now, it gets knocked down, then larger cell walls appear at 40 plus. So a cell wall is just a sitting sell order, and that just comes up to whoever wants to sell. Why does it commonly get rejected at levels like that? It's just psychological. There's day traders involved. There's people just saying, hey, I bought at 38, nice $2 ride. And I've said this before, and of course, it's always good to reiterate because you never know when someone new is listening. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have so many people who are just obviously human saying, hey, 40 is cool, nice. Like when they put in their sell order, like beep, boop, bop, they put in 40. Like it's not always robots. Sometimes it's just a human. They wrote up AMC this morning. They might not be apes. They might not even know what the apes are. They got in, they saw this explosion. They wrote it up. They're like, okay, cool. $40. They might have seen these 2 rejections already. And they're like, cool. It's been a good Thursday. Let's lock in our gains. You're going to see this at a lot of those key psychological levels, especially the more prominent values such as $50, $10, $100, $1. There's certain increments that are generally you see it more at the whole dollar values, but there's certain ones that really stand out. Like for example, GameStop 200, well, 250 is also incredibly important. You have a lot of those just key psychological levels. So people, they think there's going to be a reaction there, so they set an order, and because enough people think that, there actually is a reaction there, and like I say, it very quickly becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Knucklehead, I appreciate that. Do I like NIO? I do like NIO as a company, but NIO, you have to be honest with yourself and admit that there are political concerns between the US and China. NIO is a China-based company. When you're talking about something such as Tesla, when you're talking about something such as Fisker, RIVN, Lucid, of course there could be political tensions, such like as if Elon were to get into a fight with like the government, or let's say he's making fun of a U.S. senator who happens to be the chairman of the finance committee. Hypothetically, if someone were to do that, there are political concerns, but there doesn't have to be. And inherently being a Chinese company that's trading actively on a U.S. market, in the previous presidency, there were even talks of like, should we just delist all Chinese-based companies? Because they don't, even though they're on our market, even if they're trading through an ADR, an American Depository Receipt, they don't have the same auditing. And that's why we get situations such as Luckin Coffee, because even though it's on the market, it's not to the same regulatory standard. And people within the government have kind of pointed out, like, wait, why are we letting them trade on our market if we're not going to audit them and keep them to the same regulation standards? And then beyond that, so you have the US China political tensions, let's call it. But on top of it, with NIO, I guess that is really my biggest concern. I like NIO as a company. I think it has unique access to a very large market, the Chinese market. And beyond that, not only is it a large market, but it has an abnormal appetite for EV. So that's good. But I don't know, some of the intercompetition with Tesla, I think NIO thinks it's technologically superior, but I kind of question how is that possible. So that's like kind of my secondary one, but my main one is just political tensions. NIO had a lot of YouTube media coverage and big investors, so it's hold for a long time. I mean, I like it. Like, I want it to be successful, but I'm just saying, like, you have to consider just that. Do I think all of a sudden tomorrow they're going to say Chinese companies can no longer trade on the US stock market? No, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's just something to consider. For the longest time, Tesla was my favorite and NIO was my number 2. I would say NIO's now my number 3 and Lucid's my number 2 in terms of EV automakers. So it's still there, still in my top 3, but who knows, maybe RIVN will somehow get onto this list soon, but I want to see how it plays out. NIO has a battery swap, Tesla does not. That's true. Like, I'm well aware. I've made many videos on NIO. I'm more bullish on NIO than I'm bearish, but like it's unhealthy to put your money into something and not be able to list out the pros and the cons. There's no such thing in the market that's exclusively pros. If you can't list a downside to a company or an investment or an idea that you're having, you just haven't done enough research on it. Overall, I like NIO. I think it's bullish. I think it's a money-making opportunity. I'm trying to give you both sides of the same coin. Like, if you exclusively think something's positive, only pros, you just haven't done enough research then. Did you see where Nancy Pelosi's husband firm or associated firm, not too familiar with the specific spot, AMC, also killed the thumbnail today? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit this morning. That's good. I mean, it's obviously better to buy AMC than to sell AMC. But I think people, especially on social media, were overstating. They were almost making it seem like Pelosi herself went out of the way to buy hundreds of thousands of shares of AMC. And it's just not exactly that. Did you keep EGLX esports when I mentioned a while ago? Earnings came out and it's finally moving today. Can I get your thoughts on it? EGLX. Hey, must have had a good earnings. Let's see. I mean, above 4 is nice. Like, obviously it's been in this downtrend for quite a while. So maybe this is what it needs. I would want to see a little bit more momentum beyond today, because like this is a pretty noteworthy bear trend. Like, you want to make sure that the trend's officially changing, but in general, the way we're speaking about EV, I am definitely bullish on esports. Every single time I read about it, it's growing by billions and billions of dollars. Like, esports is going to be gigantic. Just given enough time. It's already big. I think it's going to be colossal. UPST. UPST, whoa, the first earnings it must have missed. I mean, the past how many? 3 earnings, it crushed it. This time the cart, I guess, just got a little bit in front of the horse. It'd be interesting. Obviously, you now have this gap up to 307, 308. I'm wondering about the gap down to 140. It's like kind of awkwardly no man's land. You have to watch this gap, but watch the top gap. The way I would think of this, I have no UPST position, is see which way the trend actually gets going. Is it still going to go down, or is it going to bend back around? Like, I think given enough time, both of these gaps to the upside and the downside will get filled. The way I would play it is waiting to see like what way the trend actually comes out after this earnings. Did I miss any updates on AMC? No. I mean, AMC's having a green day. It's up 2.5%. GME's up 2.4%. They're both up. They're kind of bouncing back. AMC got rejected at 40. GME got rejected at 208. Kind of a quiet day. What else do we have? Any weight on the DOJ KG story? I have no idea what that story is. I watched the DOJ statement, and that was more generically that they're going to put a bigger effort into taking down white collar crime. The DOJ in that one, at least what I watched, the Monaco, whatever that, I don't know. It came out like 2 weeks ago. It was not specific to Ken Griffin, so I don't know what that story is. What else do we have? Oh, brother. Hey, Matt, I'm waiting for Elon's Neuralink to go public. Any thoughts? I guess about like what part of it? I'm more excited about Elon's Starlink than I am Neuralink. I'm more excited about his step into the world of providing the entire globe internet rather than his Neuralink. They said they're investigating all corporate corruption. Yeah, do you know how long that laundry list is? All corporate corruption. Like, to say that's specifically referring to KG, Kenny, like, if you're going to be there for quite a while if you're investigating all corporate corruption. And also, for them, from a legal standpoint, to go against Ken Griffin, they're going to have to provide evidence of corruption. And I think that's something right now. One of my biggest arguments is what he's doing, I think, is immoral and unethical. But right now, if we're just talking about prompting an extreme amount of off-exchange trading, folks, that's legal. That's not corruption. He is currently playing within the, I guess, the guardrails of the current system. The argument is we need to fix this system. If we're just referring to, like I say, the extreme amounts of off-exchange trading. Matt, which esports names do you like long-term? Made some money on Roblox this week. Just curious if there are others you like. So I like Roblox. That's actually software. Activision has been having some social problems that like you have to consider. If you want to talk about another software one, Take-Two Interactive, TTWO. This is another one that gets discussed often. This owns like the 2K franchise, like 2K, like NBA, that type of stuff. And they own many other things, but I'm just trying to give you an example. If you want to take a hardware approach of the hardware that gamers use, you could check out Logitech, LOGI. This one's actually almost on a nice discount. If you could pick up Logitech up near 70, that's a sweet one. So that's more of a hardware play. There's also ETFs that track the esports industry, such as ESPO. This is the Van Eck Video Game and Esports ETF. So here's one, ESPO. So if you don't want to pick the individual company and you want to play generically the realm of esports, ESPO, that's a solid one. So right there, TTWO, LOGI, RBLX, ESPO, those are all ones that you could start to research and see if they tickle your fancy or not. In my video, you are so unfathomably thick, wide, sparse. Stephen Hawking once tried to write a book on how you can't be measured. Thick cores, beefy cores. Hey pal, an idea for a video for the community. Maybe throw how to interpret financials. I think people would benefit from things other than a gut feeling. That's a great idea, Jeremy. I definitely need to make that. Is SDC dead now? Smile Direct Club. Didn't they just have earnings? Whoa, the gap down. The gap down, new all-time low. Oh, is it a new technical? No. It's just very close to an all-time low. You have to see if it bounces off of $4. Whenever I see something like this right away, I'm like, okay, there's support 20 cents away. Gap fill opportunity $1 above where it is now. So you have roughly a 20-25% gain when you're risking far less. Solid risk reward, but also obviously it missed on revenue and it missed on earnings, like EPS. That's not a good sign. So maybe if it gets some momentum going, gap fill opportunity, but it's literally at the support of its all-time low. What do I think about PHUM? I think the only reason that one really got going was because of its association with DWAC. It was a bunch of rumor. It was a sympathy play with DWAC. The assumption was that it would be building out the tech for that Truth Media thing. It was never confirmed. It was complete rumor. In my video, you think you're so thick, you got to turn on the fog lights just to see you. Oh, man. I see a lot of people talking about Adam Aaron. Folks, he has now for the past 6 months been saying he's going to sell stock by the end of the year. I don't get why people are so surprised that he followed through on the exact thing he told us he would be doing. This is in no way a surprise. It was a 10b5-1 thing. It wasn't like he was sitting there. He's like, oh, AMC maxed out. Time for me to sell. The date and the amount being sold was planned far in advance. That's how 10b5-1s work. You can see the SEC filing. You can see that it was from a 10b5-1. It's not a surprise, like really at all. He still owns 2 million shares. Like he's still one of the largest individual owners of AMC. I'm a little bit confused on if people weren't paying attention to what's been going on, if they're new, or if it's just like shills that are in here trying to get other people to freak out. But if you're in that middle category of you're new and you're just like, hang on, I'm a little bit confused. Why is the CEO selling? I'm speaking to you directly in the fact that he told us he will be doing this for the past 6 months. He's like, I got to. I'm 67. I have a lot of stock. I have a family. I need to do proper estate planning. He still owns. It's not like he sold all of it. He still is going to own in excess of 8 years worth of his salary in stock. Like he made that a rule for himself. He's holding 2 million shares. I'm not worried. My trades are in no way ever dependent on someone else's trades. Your trades should never be dependent on someone else's trades. You don't know when they got in. You don't know when they're getting out. You don't know their risk tolerance. You don't know their reasoning. You don't know what they know. You have to trade for yourself. I don't care if that's a Nimrod account on Reddit, all the way up to the CEO of a company. You have to trade for yourself. You have to. Is it not Kohrs Light, but Kohrs Thick? Yeah, we're going to have to switch it over. What do I think about Beyond Meat? I'm thinking about buying it right now for a short-term play. Didn't Beyond Meat get demolished by their earnings? Beyond Meat. I don't know why I have this random trend line on Beyond Meat. Must have been checking it out at one point. So it is at support, the sell-off level. You said you want to go long on it for a short-term play. I mean, but how do you know this is it? Like, I would want to see some sort of trend. The gap down makes sense. It missed on earnings, so people are like, it's a less valuable company. But what makes you think it's going to gap fill like right away? Like, what's your definition of short term? Is that an intraday, or is it a couple days, a couple weeks? I guess I would need a little bit more detail on your time frame, like your specific trading plan, but also your reasoning of like why now is the time to buy. In my video, you're so thick and viscous, pea and ham soup gets jealous and goes, damn that boy thick. You guys have seen me every single day this entire year. Why is it a surprise now of how I look? You've seen me. You've seen my face. You've seen my chest. You've seen my arms. Like, none of this is a surprise. Like, why is it coming out that I'm thick now? Like, You guys are acting as if I did some sort of like wrench capital reveal where it's always been a voice and like now you can see my body. You've seen me every single day for a year. Oh, man. How much do I weigh? 175. Show us something we haven't. I even showed you pictures of when I used to be like 195 and actually like cared about my life and went to the gym more. You don't look that thick on YouTube. It's a camera trick. Instead of cameras adding 10 pounds, my camera somehow like removes 10 pounds. Matt, thick crypto. In my video, you're so thick, farmers kick you because they mistake you for tractor tires. 170 isn't skinny. You appear more thin on here. I mean, I weigh 170. Actually, what was my last? Maybe I was like 177. I don't know. Why has my body proportions now become a... Matt is eating well. If you consider a sizable amount of sangria and cheese, it's a healthy diet. Yeah, I have been eating well. How much do I deadlift? I haven't deadlifted in many, many moons. Many, many moons. Thick? You got a thick filter. Oh, man. Mason, I am 5'11", 140. I am 5'10", 175, 180. Exactly. Someone pointed this out. 170 is incredibly skinny if you lift. I mean, at my height, there's people who are like 220, like stacked and shredded. I am not stacked. I am not shredded. I'm just not, I don't know. I have like a sports lifting background, not like a running background. I feel like runners have like a completely different body type because it's disadvantageous to like carry around that extra weight. Do you put fruit in your manly sangria? Yeah. Why would I not? It's like, it's called a well-rounded meal. Fruit's healthy. In my video, you're so thick, the straw used to consume you strangles 1,000 turtles. I hope you're proud of yourself, Thicky. I like my YouTube streamers like I love my oatmeal thick and steamy. This is getting into a weird world of objectification. I like my YouTube streamers like I like my oatmeal thick and steamy. The amount of DMs I got after the CNBC article that said thicker than a Snicker, it was a surprising amount. Your thoughts on WDAY? I'm in it since last year, but on the daily, it looks like the bell shape you talked about. Thicker than a Snicker. I mean, but this is still, it hasn't really made a new, like, it's still somehow going. It hasn't like broken down through the support of like 287, 285. It's still slowly but surely going up. It's slowing down, but the trend is still upwards on it. Maybe you'll get some more movement out of the earnings on November 18th. Uh-oh. YouTube, what you doing? YouTube. That's so thick we need to describe them with viscosity. Buffering. I like my YouTube streamers like I like my wine full-bodied, barrel-shaped, and downstairs at my mom's place. What else is going on? It is a quiet power hour. I'm just here. What do we have? We have about 20 minutes. You know what we could do? Your nose is thick. Well, that's not nice. I just have a classic European nose. Is this... I think I'm streaming. I think I'm not frozen. Matthew Multicourse. What kind of sickness do thick pirates get? I don't know which one, Cootery. What kind of sickness do thick pirates get? This is going to be something funny. Are you down with thickness? You ain't thick, admit it. I never thought of myself as thick until the entire internet told me I was thick. And it's totally... Oh wait, you can see... Do I have to click? Oh, curvy. What did the thick duck... Why did the thick duck go to the hospital? He had a heart attack. Oh, man. You're so thick, your stream has to buffer. All right. So, I mean, I guess we have about 20 minutes to go and things are quiet. So I think we could use this for a bit of like an AMA type of a thing. So let your questions rip, folks. Let's do this thing. Let's give you 20 minutes. 20 minutes and let's get these questions flowing. And you want to waste it on that BGFV or text? That's what we want to do it on? Hey, if that's the question you want answered, that's the question you're going to get answered. Let me go check it out. BGFV. Big Five Sporting Goods Corporation has a short interest of 33%. Not that good at whistling. What did the feds do now? There must be a reason AMC is falling. AMC is falling because people are selling it. There's more. For every sale, there is a buy. For every buy, there is a sale. There's just more selling pressure. The buyers and sellers are agreeing on a lower and lower price, but also your sentiment's a bit weird because it's up 2%. Like the stock is up on the day. So I don't know if I like inherently agree with where you're coming from. Hey, Matt is perfect. Stop objectifying his thickness. That's my job from the privacy of my own home. In my video, you're so thick you wrestle Floyd Mayweather at WrestleMania 24. Are you from Jerusalem? Because you is Israeli thick. Israeli thick. Oh, man. Hey, Matt, could you check out EXO? I have it. HEX Israeli thick. Oh, this is so silly. This is hilarious. $1.90. This would be a good time to do like TikTok reviews where you guys could get my react. Can you view TikTok? Like, is it only a phone app or is it also like a web app? And I could just log on and you guys could send me TikToks. Like, we have to do some sort of reaction type stuff when days are slow like this. Where's Rico and Dakota? RIP. I don't know where Rico is. I miss him, but Dakota was sacrificed. Why did you say that? They are buying and selling to each other to drop the price. You make it sound like retail selling. What? Where are you getting this concept that they're buying and selling to drop the price? That doesn't make logical sense. If you buy and then sell to someone for a lower price and then they buy and sell to you for a lower price, you're both losing money that entire time. The entire time. That doesn't make sense. This concept of a short ladder attack, has it happened? Probably. Is it in an extreme rarity that is overstated by people on Reddit and Twitter? 100%. No one from like a background in Wall Street or knows about trading is ever like, oh yeah, a short ladder attack. It's so incredibly difficult to pull off. So like, and it's almost a little bit intellectually lazy for everyone to see a red bar and be like, short ladder attack. Short ladder attack. It's a ladder. We're being ladder attacked. Sound the ladder attack alarm. It's just, come on. Let's be a little bit more reasonable about what is happening. They're buying and selling to someone else. Like, what about all the other participants? Like, how do you intentionally seek someone out? I literally know of no methodology to do that. Could you pull that off on a dark pool? Like, find a particular entity that you want to trade with? Yeah, that's part of what like private dark pools are for. So it could get pulled off there. But remember, they still trade within the NBBO. You don't decide the price like that. We're still trading within the national best bid and offer. Where's the trading volume today? AMC has a volume of 28 million, very low volume. GME has not even a million. Wow. AMC and GME, especially GME, have an incredibly low volume. Are you keeping up with Portnoy versus Business Insider? I am. I'm afraid to talk about it because I think no matter what I say, half the people will not like me. I view it this way. There's a money-making opportunity with Penn National Gaming, PENN. Someone is lying. Either Portnoy is lying or Business Insider is lying. Someone is lying. Depending on who is lying, tells me if I should go long or short on Penn. If Business Insider is lying, I should go long on Penn. If Portnoy is lying, I should go short on Penn. It's tough to know who is or isn't lying because I wasn't personally there, and I'm not here to make any commentary on who is like morally or socially right or wrong, just because, like I said, whatever I say, half the people, it's oddly becoming political, which I just don't understand. And I'm not interested in pissing half of you off. I'm more interested in saying, okay, hang on, like, where can we make some money? Have you exited your prog position? No. I mean, my calls are going to expire worthless tomorrow, but I still have my stock and I'm just going to sit on my prog stock. What else do we have? In my video, everyone should get up, come on, get down with Matt's thickness. You should feel how thick my hands are. Take my cheesy insides. Matt's half-eaten box of Cheez-Its. Oh, man. It's... What else do we have? Don't view it, Matt. Don't view what? When is the IPO for the Thick Stairmaster? I wonder if that's what I should be doing. Should I just get into the business of creating my own Stairmaster? Yen Yang made it to your stream today. Shout out Yen Yang. Can you start a Matt's Rants channel where you clip your rants and post them? Quite a few of them end up on Kohrs Lite. Not all of them, because some of them I view it to be like, in a weird way, like a special thing of like, oh, you guys watched it live. And of course it's up there. But I don't want to go out of my way to like cut every single rant, because if I do that, well, like, you guys deserve a little thing special for being here like in real time. We don't want to make it too easy for people who get all my rants. And also, let's be honest, some of my rants, if I posted those individually, it would piss off a lot of people. I've noticed that I've like somehow become the channel that's giving people like a little healthy dose of reality, and people act like children when they get that. They're like, this is not my confirmation bias. What do you mean dark pools don't trade 50%? What do you mean not every red bar is being short ladder attacked? What do you mean they're not hiding all the shares in Brazil? What do you mean that they're not screwing us over with convertible bonds? What do you mean that odd lot theory isn't the end all be all for ruining this stock? When I go on rants about the silliness of some of this, it makes a lot of people mad. So if you're here in real time, you get it, and I'm not going to stop it. But I also like, I don't know, I like ruffling feathers, but only to like a certain extent. Thick rants. Someone just heard you sold from what? Like you heard it from a Reddit post? I read things about Reddit that crack me up. Can I find this one? This one is so freaking funny. I've really stopped consuming Reddit because it's just so, the upside is no longer worth the downside. Like generally you have to go through it and comb out all of the bad stuff. But now it's just like there's so much bad stuff. This is so funny. This is the type of stuff where people are like, oh, this is my DD on Reddit. So this was reposted on AMC stock. UMAROX posted this on GME sub. Guys, Adam Aaron and Matt Kohrs are from Philadelphia, which is where Susquehanna is based. SIG, it's a big fun. Call everything off and sell your AMC. The cultists have spoken. If you are associated with the same city as the bad guy, you are the bad guy. All too sus. I'm out. Imagine that. Imagine if we just associated like anyone. Like if you're from their city, bad. Imagine that. Like anyone from any major city, you're like, hey, I heard someone bad's from there. Like this was posted. This is insane. Man, sometimes Reddit is just so wildly stupid. Not all the time. Seriously, like this is real. Call everything off and sell your AMC. The cultists have spoken. If you are associated, if you are associated with the same city as the bad guy, you are the bad guy. Oh man, this is too funny. Like I read this stuff, and it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. If I'll read it, I'm like, wow. Wow. And I used to love Reddit. I really did. I would always go on Wall Street Bets. I read that for years and years, especially last summer in 2020. I consumed probably everything written on Wall Street Bets. And I'll still read Wall Street Bets now, but Superstock and AMC stock, like those subreddits, if you don't think that they're infiltrated by complete asshat shills, I don't know what to tell you. And to the Redditors that are like right now listening and you're like fuming and you're like so pissed off and you're like, he made fun of Reddit, I'm gonna write another Reddit. If you can't appreciate like how comedic that is right now, that you're like playing into that, you're like, he made fun of me, I need to write a Reddit post. Like it's so dumb. I die reading the things about myself. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh man, when I'm just like, I sit there and I'm like, I read this, and it's so funny because like obviously I know my own life. Like I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm not doing. And what was one of the recent ones? Someone accused Trey and myself of planning the Fox interview with Charles Payne right around the time of Adam Aaron selling because they thought that we knew that Adam Aaron was going to sell. And it was like some weird hit piece that like we're trying to cover it up because we know AMC and GME's tanking. And I was just thinking about that. I was like, talk about the freaking mental gymnastics that were like required to get to that point. Imagine this. Imagine the world in which a giant news organization is just listening to two YouTubers. Like imagine that. Like seriously, like Trey and I get on the phone and we're like, hi, is this Fox? And they're like, yes, we are Fox. Is this Trey and Matt? And we're like, we are Trey and Matt from YouTube. Please give us an entire special because we know something's gonna happen. Think about the ludicrous nature of that. In reality, this thing was planned back in September. They're like, hey, can you do October 9th? Trey and I are like, yeah, sure. That sounds cool. And they're like, you know what? We can't do October 9th. Can you do November 9th? And we're like, hey, we could do that too. This was planned all the way back in September. And people are like, the assumption is that like Adam Aaron told us non-public information to YouTubers. Like the rabbit hole that some of these conspiracists go in the AMC community, it's astounding. It is purely astounding. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so ridiculous. These tinfoil hats, I need to make an entirely new line of headwear of proper fitting tinfoil hats, because obviously whatever's going on in this world, there's not enough supply of, I guess, adult sized tinfoil hats. There's too many children ones out there, and people are like literally losing like the flow, like the oxygen flow to their brain with how tight their tinfoil hat is on. Welcome to Chile, baby. Good old Philadelphia. Oh dear, I'm from the same town as Portnoy. I'm just kidding. I like that guy. Michael Jordan is Kenny G, confirmed from Chicago. Trey Matt from YouTube. We want Trey Matt from South Park. Those guys are awesome. That's the only reason they talked to us. They thought it was Trey and Matt from South Park. They're like, who are these YouTube guys? Like, they got pissed off at us. Hey, Matt, stop setting appointments to spread FUD on national TV. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. I missed one. Hang on. I need it. In your vid, you're so thick. Aiders used to use a fisheye lens to get all on screen. Oh man. Welcome to Chile. There's Adam, Aaron, and Susquehanna. Like, imagine that. Like, everyone from Chicago and New York, you're just like right away associated with like any hedge fund entity. You know who else is from Manhattan? And you just insert anyone. You know how many dark pools are in Chicago and New York? I'll give you one. I used to live in Manhattan. Folks, I used to live in Brooklyn. In 2020, I lived in Brooklyn. Do you know what else is in New York? Dark pools. I mean, what else? Theories confirmed. Conspiracy confirmed. Matt Kohrs, for an entire year, lived in New York City. He lived in the 5 boroughs. You know what else is in those 5 boroughs? Dark pools. It was dark pool galore, and Matt Kohrs lived there. That's the only assumption that we could take out of it. I'm here betting that Matt Kohrs made those dark pools. And you know what else they have in Manhattan that I didn't want to bring up, but now that we're going down the rabbit hole, they have a lot of ladders. And some of the ladders I've seen in Manhattan, just for me, are pretty short. So, I mean, putting 1, 2, 3 together there. Matt Kohrs from Manhattan, hedge funds, dark pools, short ladders. What else do you need confirmed? I just attached everything with the red yarn right there. Draw it all together. Clip it, send it out. Let's put that on Reddit. So dumb. Oh man. Sometimes we have too much fun here. Lots of subways in New York City. What else do we have? Can you check the SDC short intro? More than happy to. Let's see what's going on with Smile Direct Club. SDC, estimated short interest is, what is it? It's loading. 37%. Mark in the thick pool. You were born in the dark pools. Kenny just adopted them. Oh, man. Yeah, I have seen the movie Dark Pool. I've seen both of them. Both of them twice. Confirmed. Someone call CoffeeZilla. Matt just confessed. Kenny lives in a house that's built with bricks. Bricks rhymes with thick. Boom, you're busted. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ryan Cohen has the same last name as Steve Cohen. GME is a setup. That's a good one. That's what we should do. I think once a day we should come up with our own conspiracy theories and see how far it goes on Reddit. That's a good one. The Ryan Cohen, Steve Cohen connection, questionable. Highly questionable. Highly, highly, highly. All right, folks, we have about 20 seconds left, just so everyone knows. So if you are battling with pattern day trading and you need to get a trade in to not like get messed around with that tomorrow, just so you know, you better get it in. You only have a couple seconds. Supposedly rigged market in PFF wasn't conspiratorial enough. There's got to be something behind this. No, that's the behind it. That's what I would say. Every pool you enter becomes a thick pool. These are fun. I need to do more of those Reddit reads about myself. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is closed. Folks, the market is wrapped up for today, Thursday, 11th, aka Veterans Day. If you're a veteran or an active military person, thank you. We all appreciate your service from the bottom of my heart. Seriously. The market, kind of boring today. Not going to lie. Not too much going on. EV had a good day. Lucid was up 10%. RIVN was up 22%. Tesla, break even. The market's all slightly green, but it was a chop city day. It was an inside day. There was not many trends to be had. It just was not a trending day. Sometimes you're going to get that in the market. We naturally have these cycles of consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion. Right now, we're just in one of those boring consolidation periods. We're waiting to see which direction the next trend is in. Fortunately, AMC was in the green, gained 3%. GME was also in the green, gained 2.6%. So if you happen to be an AMC, GME, Ape, that's good for you. Any green day is obviously a good day. Now, in terms of the short interest, even though the market was open today, it was also a non-settlement day, so we didn't get any of the updated information. We're going to have to wait for tomorrow to see like what's actually going on there in terms of the newest short interest after today. So just no updates in terms of that settlement info, just so everyone's on the same page there. The plan is tomorrow I'll be streaming 9 a.m. bright and early. I hope to catch all of you there. And then, of course, we'll also be doing just the classic Friday afternoon mess around stream. So expect those two streams tomorrow. And if I could come up with some good subject matter, I will be posting that on the main channel tonight. Just that quick update, just so everyone is well aware of what is going on. But overall, thank you for the support. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are the absolute best. Thanks for joking around with me and having a good time in here today. I will catch you tomorrow. And as always, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.